Well, it's that time of year in Canada again. We don't take as much time to do this as they do in other countries, but we have an election coming, so yay, I guess.
This is United Aholes, a video cast discussing cultural topics with no filter.
Welcome back to Area 41, Harry Belafonte's favorite spot on the internet. So, I wanted to get everyone's feels on how the election cycle is going so far and talk about a couple different things. First one that I want to cover off that's really pissing me off is the mudslinging shitstorm that is social media in the midst of an election, and how much garbage is thrown around and how it's turned into vote for me because I'm not him. So the other thing I wanted to bring up, I do believe I asked you all, I don't know if I got to you, I might have missed you, but I posted in the chat, but you probably didn't see it because you'll see it next week, don't worry.
That's when I'll check it.
I posted the CBC vote compass.
Yes.
So I want to start at Brent. And A, do you think it was a valid effort to go through it? Do you think that it was steering you in any way? And did you understand where you ended up and think it was right?
I don't think it steered me.
Okay.
I enjoyed doing it because I've never done anything like that before. And okay, this is interesting. And it didn't, they were straightforward questions.
Yeah.
That was, what do you think about this? And I was interested to see the results, and I don't disagree with them because it was liberal and then PC.
So were you shocked with where you ended up?
No, it's what I expected. It was like liberal, green, NDP, PC.
What was your result?
I don't remember exactly, but I think it was all right. Yeah, liberal 51, green 48, conservative 44, NDP 42. So
what about you, Ken? How'd you
I was 51 Tory, 49 liberal.
Wow.
Wow.
Some more conservative this time around.
Yeah.
Okay, Halden, did you finish?
Yes, I did.
Okay, live results.
Wipe yourself.
Conservative Party came out on top at 57%, Liberal at 51%, New Democratic Party was
Heterosexual life partner right
50%,
there.
Green Party was 47%.
All right, we're back. We were done and we were going to go home, and then Brent decided to fucking topple the apple cart. He dumped the turnips all over the goddamn highway by saying what exactly?
Okay, Halvin started it, technically.
Yeah. So I said that it is your right not to vote, but if you don't vote, you don't have a right to complain about the government, because nothing bugs me worse than somebody bringing up, I fucking hate what the government's doing, blah, 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 and then saying that they didn't vote in the last election.
Okay, before you go any further, do you agree with that statement?
I do.
Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that statement?
I do not.
I do. I want to hear both of you. Go, Brent. I know you spoke right up at the first that that's not right. So tell me what your logic is. Why does someone who doesn't participate get to fucking talk about the game?
Who do our elected officials work for?
the voters.
No, they work for the people.
Right.
And if I don't
And the
vote,
people are the
I'm
voters.
still people. I'm still a Canadian. I still live in this country. I'm still affected by the decision you
You were
make.
asked your opinion, and
Doesn't
you did
matter.
not give
That
it.
doesn't
so
mean
doesn't
that you
matter.
don't. That
Complain
doesn't
about
mean
it.
you don't have the right to voice your concerns.
You had your right, and you forfeited.
That is
when you
no.
didn't
That
provide
right
it at
does
the
not
time you
have an
asked.
end point,
No.
Ryan.
I disagree.
No,
Do you got some fucking popcorn in your hand?
no. If you,
Oh, no, I think I'm going to
I-
speak.
Hey, Brent, where do you want to go supper? I don't care. Let's go get Chinese. I fucking hate Chinese. Well, then you should have said something when I asked you where you wanted to go
you're
get supper.
simplifying it.
Yeah, I am
Too
simplifying
much.
it, but that is the root
No.
of the issue.
No.
You were asked your opinion. You said, I don't care.
No.
And now you
No.
didn't get what you wanted, and you suddenly care.
Okay, so if you spoil your ballot, your vote, if you spoil that ballot, it's the same fucking thing.
I disagree.
No,
I
would
cared
agree.
enough to vote, and my
For
vote
nobody.
is there is nobody here worth voting for.
You
Right.
didn't.
So what's the
But I
difference between
voiced
you
your-
and me staying home?
I showed up and said this is bullshit.
I believe
you
in the
stayed
system.
home and said this is bullshit.
It's the difference
Right.
of playing the game and not believing in the rules. So protesting.
So let the
My
player
vote
hate the game.
So-
says something. You not voting doesn't.
So I'm less of a person if I don't vote.
No,
Not
that's
less of a
person.
person.
Yes, I am.
You
Because
lose the right to complain.
No, I don't.
That's the
No, I
difference
do
that I'm
not lose the
stipulating.
right
You're not
to
less
complain.
of a person, Brent.
I have the right to say what they're doing is not correct. I do not agree with
do.
it. I have the right to say that. I have the right to voice my opinion.
You
I
do.
live in this country.
And that's what elections
And
are
it doesn't
for.
matter whether I voted or not, because what they do still affects me.
And they're
So
doing
you-
it for you.
Right. They work for the people and I'm people.
Right.
So you
And you
cannot
were asked
take...
your opinion and
Yes,
you
yes, he
declined to
was.
respond.
But that does not take away his ability to voice his opinion.
That's right. You
I
you
disagree.
can't say to somebody who didn't vote, no, you stop talking, you don't get, wait till the next election and we'll allow you to talk. But we will take you to the voters booth and you can spoil your ballot there and not care.
Yeah.
You can't stay home and
Nobody
not
said
care.
not care.
Yeah. What? Yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
said not care.
Okay, well, all right. You can't stay home and not vote for somebody. You have to go to the polls and not vote for somebody.
Yes.
It's semantics at that point.
No, I disagree.
If Randy spoils his vote, he didn't vote for anybody.
Right.
If I stay
But
home,
that is still
I
a
didn't
vote.
vote for anybody.
It's
No,
counted and
yours is
tabulated
not a vote.
under
It's a vote
spoiled
for none of the
ballots.
above.
Yep.
Okay.
He is engaged
So,
and
and
said
if
that
everyone
the
did
party
what I
does not
do,
work.
if everyone did what I do, we get a new election. If everyone does what you do,
So
we don't.
Nothing happens.
Right.
If you guys know realistically that not the entire population is ever going to go and spoil their ballot,
Absolutely.
that's unrealistic. Anyway, if,
Maybe not
if you
all,
would-
but
if
we
you and
don't
I,
need all. We need
a certain
more.
percentage. If
And
you,
there are other countries that have way higher voter participation than Canada. Way higher.
that's because we have it so well in this country. Things aren't as bad as
Sure.
the stuff we bitch about. Is
But if it's so bad,
but
you
if,
should at least get off your couch and vote.
if you and I are running for election, and I know this, I'm using these numbers just to keep it short. If it's between one vote, okay, literally we have a 50-50 tie and there's one vote difference. Him showing up at the polls doesn't make any difference. My neighbor not showing up at the polls doesn't make any difference because he didn't vote for anybody. So what he did, he has a right to do, to go up and spoil that ballot. But it does not affect the outcome of the election, because if it's 50-50 and the last vote counted is his, but my neighbor didn't show up, neither one of them have affected the outcome of that election. So
Yes.
he gets to bitch.
But if he
even
voted
though-
for the third party, it didn't make him
No,
matter
no.
either. So fuck them guys too.
No, you said
No.
you said spoil. We're talking about spoiling the ballot.
I am. And
which
spoiling the
which is
ballot
a
means
non-vote.
something.
I'll
There
tell you
is
what-
a result to spoiled ballots.
Can I tell
But
you?
not if it's a 50-50 deadlock.
Well, neither is voting for the third party, so we should only have two parties.
No. What
Okay.
I'm saying is, I don't stop about the third party.
Okay.
What I'm saying
but
is,
you're saying that
the
his
two-
vote doesn't matter. Well, neither did anybody else's
no.
except for the two parties.
No, I said it doesn't affect. He voted.
And neither does voting for any other party, is what I'm
didn't-
trying to say.
He didn't actually vote, though. If he
did.
spoils his ballot, no, that's not a vote.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
There is an action that comes from voting and spoiling your ballot.
Well, I don't play golf, so is that a sport?
An action?
I don't play golf, so is that a sport?
Yes.
Okay, so not playing golf is a sport.
No.
Me sitting home on my couch
But
is a
showing up and not hitting the ball is still playing.
Oh, bullshit. No way.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
show up at the Woodstock golf course, sorry, the Area 41
and
golf
you
course,
swing the club and not hit the ball, you're still playing golf.
and then you walk home. That's all
If
it
that's
takes.
all you can do.
But if you're
No, that's all you want to do.
If that's all you can do, because I'm not voting for somebody I don't want. That's all I can do. I still show up, I still cast my vote, and my vote is that you all suck.
But if you don't play golf, you can't have an opinion about golf as a sport.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Just like
That is
I'll tell you one difference, and I'm going to say this out of my little bit of knowledge that I have. Whether you like it or not, one of our duties as citizens is to sit in and, when called upon, go to court as a juror.
Yes.
In order to be selected for jury, you have to have voted in the most recent federal election.
Okay.
Didn't know that.
If I don't vote, I don't get to participate in our legal system.
If you spoil your ballot, though,
I still get to participate in the legal system.
Because
In-
they would have
in
had
that
record
one
of him being in the
aspect.
booth.
You can't participate in being a part of a jury. Are there any other limitations, or is that the only?
That's one of the ones I know of. I don't know what
Okay.
other ones there are, but that is one of the ones. If I vote,
wait. But you're giving me a reason to not go vote.
I agree. I'll openly state this. I did not vote in one election because I didn't want to fucking go to a jury selection because I got selected one other time. I was like, fuck that. It sucked. I hated it. But
So all the opinions you had about politics for that period don't count for shit.
and you shouldn't have been allowed.
But
to say
what that
it.
told me was
should have had to stay
this
home
is
until
this
the
is
next
how
election.
this is how I interpret that. And this is my personal interpretation. My right to participate in our legal system was revoked for not voting.
Okay.
So I can no longer participate in a court of public opinion or a court of peers. I'm not seen as an equal amongst the people selected for that jury. I'm not considered because I didn't participate in our federal process.
And your argument would be saying that's good. Would it not?
I'm just saying, in my opinion, I think voting and spoiling your ballot definitely carries more weight than not voting at all.
I would agree.
I would agree with that. But what we're talking about is somebody not you guys are literally saying you are not allowed. We're not giving you.
I'm not going to
the
listen to your
option
opinion if you didn't vote.
To
Let me
bitch,
rephrase it that
to
way.
complain
If you didn't
about
vote
what's
and you
going
want to
on.
bitch about the government,
Yep.
I'm not going to listen to you.
No, not going to listen at all. You can talk to your blue in the face, and I wouldn't give a rat's ass what
Your
you say.
opinion
Now,
is
if you
null
want
and
to call
void to
out the
me.
political parties and tell them your opinion, and now you're going to vote in the next election, I could see that. But just to sit around and say these guys are bullshit, shut the fuck up. You had your voice and you decided not to use it. So don't use it now.
So all these people, here's the statement that I would make to back Ryan's point.
You're thinking these people's voices carry way too much weight.
Let's
in a room
okay.
like this,
Last election, I don't remember the exact number, but I think it was around 35% of the population that were eligible to vote voted in Canada. The last federal election we had,
What was the percentage?
the 35%.
Okay.
I think we had a 35% voter turnout.
Which is disgusting.
I think I'm right with that. I could be completely wrong. I'll put the number down here regardless, but it's still a lower number than what it should be.
I voted, by the way.
So let's pretend for whatever reason that out of the entire population, that 20% of the people are unable to vote for some whatever reason. They forgot to register.
They're in a coma.
They're whatever. There's something. They're not able to go to the polls. They didn't want to do an advanced poll or couldn't do an advanced poll for whatever
dirty
reason.
coma opinions don't fucking matter.
call me.
That's right. I don't want to hear from them. That 20% is gone. So we got 80% of the people remaining.
Right.
Out of that 80%, let's say last election, half of them voted.
Okay.
The other half were disgusted with the choices, didn't like any of the candidates, and stayed the fuck home.
Or we're lazy.
If that half, and I know not ever will it ever happen, but if that half were all pissed off enough to get up and walk into that voting booth and go, none, or void,
Yeah.
or ruin the ballot and submit it, if that happened on that scale, that election would never have completed and we'd have had to do another one. Which tells me, which then delivers the message, you all are fucked up, you need to fix your shit.
Yeah.
Which is what we're all saying needs to happen.
Yep.
we care, do better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're giving us your best as an idiot, to quote Futurama.
Get a bunch of new people and we'll be back.
Right. And I know it's a huge expense on the taxpayer
gonna
to
say,
hold another election,
that's-
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but so isn't going 4 years with the wrong guy.
Yeah, true.
So that's why we're saying this. I don't want to hear your opinion when you could have changed the outcome of an election if you just cared enough to get off your fucking ass and do what I'm doing. Because if everyone went out and did at least that, at least it shows that you're participating in the system and you're not pleased with the choices that are presented before you. That is an option on your ballot. That is a legal way of dealing with the situation.
So what we've learned here is if you don't vote, don't tell anybody. If you have a problem with the ruling party, you say you voted for the other guy, and then you can complain.
Or
there's a loophole to everything.
or ruin your
If you
ballot.
voted for them and want to complain, I have no problems with that.
I'll be honest. I just said in maybe this episode, if depending on how this gets
Or the
addendum
one before.
or whatever, that I'm not voting for a specific party because of their stance on gun regulations.
Right.
I voted for that party in the last election.
Okay.
I was happy with one thing that they did. The rest of the 4 years with them, or 5, or whatever it's been, I've been relatively displeased. They didn't deliver on electoral reform. There's a whole bunch of things. I'm totally down with people swinging their opinions. I'm totally down with you. I mean, I openly admit a lot of people hate JT, quote unquote. I'll own it. I'm that asshole that you fucking rage about on Facebook that voted that asshole in and ruined your life somehow.
We told you he had nice hair. He just wasn't ready.
He just wasn't ready. So, again, slander campaigns are great. Anyway, that's
he
my
had to
take.
put his face on.
Did you say your piece yet? I feel like I'm blabbing way too long.
I just hope the fucking election's on a Tuesday.
It's a Monday.
It's Monday. It's always Monday, isn't it?
It's always Monday.
Programmers.
So we can talk about it the next
Tuesday.
day. That's why it happens that way.
There's no campaigning on election day.
No.
I was
But
a
I'm wondering if
DRO
there's-
once for an election.
Can you get charged for campaigning on somebody else's behalf as a private citizen? I think you can. You cannot solicit votes.
You can campaign on election day, but there's a perimeter around every electoral post that you can't present signs. You can't wear.
You can't wear a shirt that says liberal, conservative, independent. You
Nothing.
can't show up at the polls with that shirt
There's
on
a sign. I remember the last federal
You can
election.
wear a red shirt or a blue shirt or a purple shirt or
The
whatever.
last election, I remember being a sign. There's no political affiliations beyond this point.
Yeah.
There were people literally 5 feet from that sign on the right side of it. Good on them.
Yeah.
Holding conservative signs when I walked to the poll, saying, "Please vote conservative."
Wow.
Blah 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 blah.
Oh, fuck. I say set them loose, man. Let them get as close to the buildings as they possibly can.
No.
And just, I want it to be a gauntlet that I have to run through.
I still have my DRO.
I want to get in there and vote and be like, oh my God, I'm glad this is over with.
Yeah. I was a DRO for one election. Actually,
What's a DRO?
deputy returning officer. I'm the asshole that goes, "You can't be in here with that shirt on," or "You got to shut the fuck up."
He was a hall monitor.
You guys can't do that.
You know, I'm the one in there that's I'm the one in there that has to, that's a spoiled ballot. No, it isn't. What do you say?
No, it isn't.
Suddenly you want to hear from me.